Yeah, so a little more normalized week this time around. Oklahoma City is the only team with 2 games. 17 teams have 4 games. Every other team has 3 games. So not much in terms of like strong advantages that guys you should be picking up on the waiver wire that you wouldn't normally be picking up from a game count perspective. Although watch if you have an OKC guy. There's a good chance if you have
Shannon's going to have to bench JRE.
Yeah. But I'll jump into mine first. My available in 50% of leagues player is Garrison Matthews, who is 36% rostered on Yahoo and single digits on ESPN. Ranks 71st per game since he made his first start with Jalen Green out for the Rockets. I should have mentioned he played for the Rockets because a lot of people listening to this podcast may actually not know who Garrison Matthews is or what team he plays for.
Cut by the Celtics this offseason with the Wizards, bench player for the Wizards last year.
Yes. He is
now
starting. Yeah. He's basically a supercharged Bryn Forbes. Okay. So he's getting you so far on
with
his
an
starts.
Amish beard.
Yeah. 17 points, hitting 4 threes per game on 44%, 3.2 rebounds, 1.2 steals. He's a 2-category guy. He's points and threes, and he's mostly just threes. But as long as Jalen Green is out, I think Matthews is probably worth rostering. Did not check if they're on a 4-game week, but if they are, then he's definitely he's a legit ad at that point.
They are on a 4-game week.
Yeah, if you he might be a better play than Lou Dort if you had Dort.
You know what? Not just a 4-game week, but they've got nice opponents in Atlanta and Detroit.
Interesting. Well, yeah. Ken, how about you?
I'm going to go former Raptor, but current Sacramento King, Terence Davis. He's owned in 34% of Yahoo and only 4% of ESPN leagues. Sorry, managed in only 34% of Yahoo leagues. He is now in their starting rotation and has hit 13 total trays in his last 3 games, which is good for 22.3 points a game plus 1.3 steals a game. Almost wonder if he's supplanting Buddy Hield as the instant offense guy for the searching for an answer Kings. And we've all discussed the Harrison Barnes eventual fade is now occurring. So I think there are shots and minutes for Davis, even if he does lose his starting spot. Played 30 minutes in their overtime win in Orlando, and he started the last 5 games. So Terence Davis.
Terence Davis was the first name I wrote down as well, Ken. I think that's a great suggestion. I believe his starting spot's safe. Essentially he's starting over Maurice Harkless. We've talked about Harkless. We've talked about when the Kings made the coaching change, we were hoping that Harkless being banished was one of the things that would happen. And Davis has been great. Davis has been really good for the Kings. And that really it opens up more time. I mean, they've got a pretty deep rotation, especially because Terence Davis is starting at the 3, but he is more of a guard. He's only 6'4", but they've got Davis, Halliburton, Fox, Davion Mitchell. So they've got tons of guards.
And to your point, Shannon, Harkless a DNP last game.
And Davion Mitchell. So they've got Buddy Hield. They've got 5-6 guards that they want to have in their rotation. So you have to move a guy like Terence Davis to 3.
And if you're Alvin Gentry, why not try new stuff? This team hasn't made the playoffs in 15, 16 years. They just canned the coach. You've got another short window to prove yourself. He knows how to be an interim coach. He's excellent at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so my first suggestion is Tyus Jones, Memphis Grizzlies. He's really stepped up in Morant's absence. Over the past week, Jones is averaging – oh, no. Bear with me. My screen got reset.
Last 7 games, he's averaged 9.6 points, 4 rebounds, 7.3 dimes a game, as well as a very nice 1.6 steals per game.
And even better over the past 4 games, 34 minutes per game over the past 4, 11.8, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.5 steals, 1.3 3-pointers. I really thought that the Grizzlies were going to lean more heavily on Bane and Melton. I was surprised that Jones immediately started getting the start at point guard. I really thought Melton would. But it looks like they're locked in with Jones as a replacement starter. His minutes, he's getting a healthy amount of minutes, well over 30, 34, 32, 35, and 35 over those past 4 games. So the minutes are locked in. He'll get you assists. He's not going to be a big scorer, but if you need assists and steals on short notice, he's going to be good until Morant comes back.
Oddly shoots great from the free throw line and poorly from the field. So Alex, take us to your long shot of the week.
Actually, I don't want to potentially steal Shannon, so I won't mention my other guy for my available in 50% of leagues guy. But my long shot of the week is Patrick Beverley, who I have mentioned once before on this show, 25% rostered on Yahoo.
Shannon hates him.
I'll keep it relatively short. He missed 6 games with a groin injury. People dropped him. Ranked 120th this season per game, but that also includes a game in which he played 5 minutes, the game that he got hurt. So his numbers are kind of artificially deflated there. You take away that game he got hurt, he's averaging 9.1 points, 4.6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.9 combined steals and blocks. He is the worst point guard version of Draymond Green, just in terms of fantasy profile, and in no other ways. But similar stat profile.
You're not concerned about Russell's return?
No, they have like a defensive mentality now. So I think that Beverly is kind of holding that down for them. They played together a lot. I'm not really that worried about him. Plus, if he plays 28 minutes, he's going to go 100% the whole time, even though he doesn't believe in help defense, per his quote on Rudy Gobert guarding Jared Vanderbilt instead of Karl Anthony Towns. But that's a whole different discussion. Ken, who is your long shot of the week?
I'm going to New Orleans for Pelican rookie Herbert Jones. I'm sorry, only managed in 18% of Yahoo leagues, managed in 2% of ESPN leagues. Wednesday, on 8 of 11 shooting, he put up a 19.7 rebound, 3 assist effort. He started, more importantly, the last 8 games for the Pelicans. Kid's 6'8", second round pick this summer, 35th overall. And, obviously I think the big question is, when is Zion coming back? Every game he does not. Jones is looking better and better. And here's maybe what I love most about Herbert Jones. In those 8 starts, averaging 3.2 steals plus blocks. So 2 categories too often ignored. Herbert Jones, my long shot of the week.
Yeah, Herbert, my boy Herbie, he's playing a lot better. He got a little stint as a starter earlier this season. Started six games, 6 of the first 7 games of the season for the Pelicans, and wasn't as impressive as he's been this last handful of games. So I think that's a great recommendation. Those defensive stats are really the appealing part there. And to piggyback on that, I've got another guy who I'm targeting for defensive reasons as my long shot, and it's Darius Bailey. Yeah, I understand the frustration. Well, he was drafted.
Only 2 games next week.
Yeah, I know. This is more of a long-term play. It's not looking at just next week. But Bailey was drafted in probably a lot of 12-team leagues, if not all of them. Some 10-team leagues, definitely 14-teamers. And I think we're starting to see him come around a little bit. But he had one game, that big blowout game that that the Thunder lost by 80 points or whatever it was. That game doesn't count. All right. That game doesn't count. But if you remove that game and look at the past 3, he's been pretty solid the past 3 games, top 24 fantasy points in each. And it's the defensive stats that I like. Over his past 4, he's averaging 1.8 steals, 1.5 blocks, 25 minutes per. There's no one else.
Like his defensive stats because he can't shoot. This is
his
3rd year under 40%. The guy's 6'8". How does 6'8" guys not shoot over 40%?
I know. It is frustrating. Yeah, he's not the greatest free throw shooter either, but that doesn't really impact it because he doesn't take a lot of shots from the line. There's low end rebound upside, some defensive upside. if you're in a deep enough league, I think it's worth stashing him. I still think that we could see him, improve as the season wears on. So he's my long shot pickup.
Okay. Ken, let's move on. Oh, the one guy I was going to mention, Cody Martin for Charlotte. Those Charlotte guys, like, obviously keep in mind,
COVID chaos.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully by the time your waivers come around on Sunday, we get a little more information on the COVID stuff for Charlotte. But I think Cody Martin's a good ad anyway. He's been 14-team relevant almost all season. Good balanced stat line. So keep him in mind as well. I think he's available in about 2/3 of Yahoo leagues. But Ken, let's get to your dull suggestion.
Yes, it's with the 4-game Phoenix Suns of next week. I could bring this guy up almost every week as my dull suggestion. Jay Crowder, owned in 28% of Yahoo leagues, plays 4 games this week. Last 3 games, 12.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, but maybe most importantly, 2.5 3-pointers. If you get Jay Crowder on a 4 or 5 game week and he happens to be hitting his outside shots, it's always useful. And then you know who to drop the next week. But that's my dull suggestion.
Deep league bench staple, Jay Crowder. Joe Ingles also on this list for me of